Good night.
Yes. Good night.
Good night!
No!
In 2015, we witnessed the origin story of the most beloved group of henchmen the film industry has ever seen. Well, we use the word henchmen quite broadly here, since we are sure minions are not human beings. They are, they are minions. Kevin, Bob, and Stuart and all the others were shown as being older than man themselves and practically crawling out of the sea in the first bursts of evolution, with their mission of finding a big, cruel, and villainous boss, already imprinted on the very core of their existence. So, after spending all of human history serving all the great villains and bosses of humanity as best as they could, and as long as their mistakes and the lives of the humans allowed it, they entered a harsh period where they struggled to find a suitable boss. Until they meet the super stylish villainous Scarlet Overkill, and then meet young GRU as an already villainous kid who ridicules their previous supervillain boss in front of the whole Kingdom of England. For minions, being the submissive and obnoxious henchmen they are, this was like love at first sight, like finding a needle in a haystack, like obtaining a sense of purpose once again after years and years of being lost. But the movie ended in that precise moment and didn't let us see anything of the initial dynamic between GRU and the minions. They only showed us a couple of visual gags pertaining to their initial days and antics to make us understand the magic was mutual, and this was the beginning of a long relationship between the young master of evil and his loyal servants. 7 years they've kept us waiting, but now we're finally less than a month away of being able to witness the continuation of the story. With a released schedule for July 1st, 2022, and several trailers released, we are anxious for the date to arrive. So while we wait together, why don't we go through all the tiny details you missed in Minions: The Rise of GRU trailers?
You!
This may be the only opportunity that I got!
First of all, let's slowly process together the fact that we're seeing a version of GRU that actually has hair. Yeah, we already saw his brother Drew with a nice mane, but this is still a weird sight. From what we have seen before in the Despicable Me franchise, we already knew that GRU and the Minions were really close, especially when it comes to Kevin, Bob, and Stuart. What we didn't know is that GRU literally grew up with them and even shared the bed with these three and slept together like brothers. It seems a bit uncomfortable if you ask us. Anyhow, did you see what Stuart is wearing? This is known as a smoking jacket and is a nod to the famous look of Playboy magazine's founder, Hugh Hefner. Weird to include this in a kids' movie, but we're only starting to find references like this. We bet they also want to appeal to the parents watching along with their children. Let's stop for a second after Stuart jumps into the bed to appreciate all the subtle and awesome details. To GRU's right, there's a poster of a muscle man lifting the word Stronghold, which is the name of a member of this movie's famous villainous syndicate called the Vicious Six. Obviously, GRU, as a little villain in formation, looks up to this kind of figure and takes them as inspiration. GRU's wallpaper decoration appears to be comprised of spiders, not a common choice for a normal kid his age, a very suitable one for an evil kid. To the left, next to Stuart, we see that GRU's alarm clock looks like a time bomb. This kid has his priorities straight. And as if that weren't enough inspiration, his nightstand is not a nightstand. It's an open safe. We jump straight into the Illumination logo that gets wrecked by a minion on a wrecking ball, just like Miley Cyrus did in her famous 2013 video clip for the song Wrecking Ball. He does this until the remaining letters spell the word minion. That's clever. We get a glimpse of the Vicious Six causing mayhem in Chinatown, and right there in the left is Stronghold, GRU's idol from the poster. By the way, the moniker The Vicious Six seems to be inspired on the most famous villainous team that usually goes after Spider-Man in the Marvel Comics, the Sinister Six. To Stronghold's right, we see a weird-looking guy with a crab arm and a funny hat that resembles the one used by troublemaker Alex DeLarge in Stanley Kubrick's 1971 cult movie A Clockwork Orange. This guy is hilariously named Jean-Claude, as he is voiced by legendary action movie actor Jean-Claude Van Damme. Keep moving right, and this lady sporting a fantastic afro hairstyle is a tribute to the most badass exponents of the 1970s blaxploitation cinema, such as legendary actresses Pam Grier and Tamara Dobson. In this scene, she's holding what seems to be some kind of jade medallion. That's gotta work as a plot device, quite literally. And she seems to have captured little GRU, who hangs upside down from a gold chain. Looks like he's in deep trouble.
Alright, I'm not Minnie. Please stop calling me that.
This movie is packed with big-name action stars. Dolph Lundgren voices Vengeance, the blonde juggernaut on the right, whose appearance comes straight from the 1975 movie Rollerball. And when the angle changes, we get a glimpse of the sixth and final member of the evil syndicate. Do you see that nun holding chucks? Of course, life has been waiting for someone to make this joke into a character. So finally, we get to see nunchucks in a movie. We all have imagined her, so it's worth the bad joke. Weren't they the Vicious Six? Someone's missing here. In front of the villains, we see what seems to be the police. But if we do the old pause and hands print game, we see someone we can instantly recognize, a younger, not yet bald version of Silas Ramsbottom. So what we're really seeing here is the anti-villain league introduced in Despicable Me 2. When GRU and the Minions enter the theater, we can spot a movie poster with a shark in the background. It's Steven Spielberg's 1975 classic film Jaws. We can use this detail to estimate GRU's age, but that's homework for you guys in the comments. We get a shot of the old Bank of Evil as Eminem sings Lose Yourself in the background. And after that, we see GRU's shenanigans against customers in line at an ice cream store. Exactly what he was doing the first time we saw him back in 2010 in the first Despicable Me movie. The only difference is that he's experimenting with something that looks like a slime gun, instead of using his more traditional freeze ray, which we already saw him use against Scarlett and Herbert Overkill. Oh, and of course, GRU is too young to drink coffee. That's why he's not attacking a coffee shop like in his first movie.
Kyle thinks he can be a villain.
I am pretty.
Customized vehicles have always been a huge deal in this franchise, and this movie is no exception. Not only GRU has a fantastic transformer of a motorcycle, but each one of the villains has their own very specially thematic vehicle ready to roll. We know that minions stress a lot when they lose contact with their boss, but hearing them shout, "Mini Boss," is just way too funny. This is a direct callback to Despicable Me 2, where they call GRU Big Boss. And on the other hand, some help seems to be on its way in the form of this unorthodox kung fu teacher that will train the minions. This character is voiced by another movie giantess, the fantastic Michelle Yeoh, who we saw earlier this year in the mind-blowing movie Everything Everywhere All at Once. But you might know her for the world-famous movie Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, directed by Ang Lee in 2000. We can only speculate we'll have a lot of fun with martial arts and a rescue minion. I mean, a rescue mission. The minions even wear matching yellow suits at some point, which are directly taken from another cult action classic, Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill from 2003, which took it from legendary martial arts artist Bruce Lee in his 1978 movie Game of Death. These people really know their movies. And what about all these scenes where the minions are piloting a plane? Are they hijacking that aircraft? That's a pretty serious thing to do in America, huh? Well, anywhere if you think about it. We can infer by the way that dragon looks and the way she talks and the way she shoots that green beam of light that the jade medallion in the beginning was some sort of ancient Chinese talisman who turned blaxploitation lady into a giant dragon. And that sounds like serious trouble for the minions and for GRU. Yeah, big trouble indeed. Those ugly yellow rabbits we see running around wreaking havoc are actually minions transformed into something else by that dragon lady. And her animal transformation? It seems to apply to the rest of the members of the Vicious Six, who appeared to be transformed into all sorts of giant animals. Way to go with that kung fu, minions! In the second trailer, we learn that GRU got involved in all this trouble when he auditions to fill an open space in the Vicious Six formation. The empty space is the one once filled by this old grouchy man called Wild Knuckles, who was expelled from the crime syndicate. A fantastic detail in this scene are the two crocodile couches on both sides. One of those couches is the same one GRU owns in Despicable Me. Maybe in the end he takes one of these two as a trophy. You just gotta love the attention to detail. And you gotta love this reference. At some point in the battle, GRU shouts, "Minions, assemble!" which is a callback to the famous command, Voltron, assemble, from the 1980s cartoon series Voltron. But we guess you can identify at least another group of famous superheroes who use a similar war cry. Did you notice all these tiny details in Minions: The Rise of Gru trailers? What else did you notice? Are you excited to watch the beginnings of Gru's criminal career? What theories do you have about this movie and its plot? Are you a GRU and Despicable Me fan? Show us your observation skills and let us know in the comments what else you caught. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn those notifications on. Share this content with your friends.
This world is mine for the
All right, I'm not Minnie. Please stop calling me that.